Hey everyone, Larry Lawton here for another great edition of, I guess, Untold Stories. I'm going to talk about the robbery I did in Sarasota, Florida. The reason I want to talk about that robbery is because here I am camping. I'm actually taking a break, and I thought I'd just do a quick video for you guys about what it was like to camp back in my day. And when I did robberies, you did a camping trip, you did it because you wanted to stay inconspicuous. Every day I got up in the morning at 5 in the morning, and what I did was I used to go case the store. And I wanted to get there before anybody might show up in that area, what deliveries were in that area. And this is in Sarasota, Florida. The robbery was the one where I did it right next to a dive shop. It was kind of funny. That's one where the old people came in, and I ended up putting them down, and I tell them, hey, no, don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. And it was kind of funny because they just said, okay. And I didn't tie them up. I didn't do anything. And at the end of the thing, the lady goes, oh, he was a nice guy. But anyway, what we did was, in that area, we camped at Myakka State Park in Sarasota. I was like a little general. I mean, I made sure that everybody had a job to do and they did it right. Now, my brother, which you all know by now, was one of my partners, and Jimmy, who's since passed. Jimmy were there, and they couldn't leave. I didn't let them leave that campground, not at all. They had to sit down and cook, do whatever they're gonna do. Every day, sometimes I took one of them, but I went with them, and I went and cased the place every day. And that was about a 15-20 minute ride from Myakka State Park to where the jewelry store was. And what I did was I went and cased that place every day for probably 2.5 weeks and didn't miss a day. I want to know when they were closed, when they were open, who was there. What I mean by that is like who was next to it. It was a dive shop next to it. So being it was a dive shop, I knew there'd be people coming and going, getting their air tanks filled or whatever. But that didn't mean anything to me. It was in a small plaza. The plaza was like a perfect plaza. And it was perfect for me because I like that. The more people, the better. Nobody thinks you're looking at something when you're sitting out waiting for somebody. Again, I try to emphasize you actually fit in by being in a crowd, because most people don't know what's going on around them. They're not as observant as you'd think people are. Obviously, you would hope they would be, but they're not. It's just simple as that. They're not. And it was to my advantage that they weren't. So every day I watched, and what time was that mailman coming? What time was the owner opening up? What time was employees coming? Which way they were coming? Everything. And it really meant a lot. But the camping is what I'm thinking about, because I'm camping. I mean, do I really call what I'm doing in an RV with a shower and my scooters and whatnot? Is that really RVing, camping? Let's put it this way. It's not rough camping. So by doing that robbery in Myakka, it brought back so many memories, this camping trip I am on. And I wanted to tell you about how it goes when you do something like that. And I can also tell you how it goes, because I'll tell you what, tensions get high. You don't realize, when you have to tell a person, listen, you sit here, you don't move, you don't do anything. They start getting edgy. And I had to take control of the situation by saying, listen, you fucking guys do something stupid, I'll fucking kill you both. And they knew I was for real. I didn't play around with my crew. Just the way I was. I'm not proud of that now, but I look at myself a whole different level now. Now I'm more mellow. But anyway, thinking about that robbery, thinking about where I'm at, it's like, I think so differently now. But I was out in town today getting eggs, and I actually saw a jewelry store. And my first thought, I could have robbed that place. It was that easy to rob. There was no question it could have been robbed. They had the windows covered. I don't know what values were in it, because I don't go looking at stores now to rob them, of course. But I look at them in the way I could case a store and how easy I could case the store. And there's no question I could have robbed the store. Everybody says, Larry, would you ever do a robbery again? Of course I won't. But when I think about something like that, you know where you get caught when you rob? You don't get caught at the store. I don't think I'd ever get caught in the store. You get caught normally by having your fence or somebody tell on you down the line. Well, I happen to be real good at that, because I was with the mob, and the mob got rid of my diamonds. And once I got rid of my diamonds, I'm clean. They were out of my hands, out of everybody's hands, within 24 hours. I could do a robbery in Florida, be in New York in 18, 19 hours. Everything is out of my possession within 24 hours. Even the clothes I was wearing would be changed and burned and incinerated. The label on the diamond, how much it costs, the way they do things. all burned. It's all incinerated in an incinerator. And I look at that today and I say, wow, it's amazing how I could still do that and not even think about it. And I could. It wouldn't be rough for me to do that at all, you know? And looking back, I look, why was I so good? Why was I such a good robber? And I think it has to do with patience, brains, and obviously experience. You know, I often tell people, don't be stupid, don't be a criminal. And I'm right. I really believe that now. Because if you're smart enough to do what I did, then you're smart enough to make money any other way. And I do believe that as well. So but just thinking back about this robbery here in Myakka State Park, or at Myakka State Park, and you're wondering, what is Myakka State Park? Myakka State Park was the place I went. In every single robbery, there was a spot I went, whether it was a shitty hotel, whether it was one of these, what do you want to call them, mom and pop joints, it was cash, or a campground, something like that. And when you do that, it was easy because once you do that, you know, who's going to know you there? Who's going to remember? First of all, the people who are camping are probably out of state themselves, and when they don't even read the papers. Matter of fact, I'm on a camping trip right now for 4 days. I left Friday, and today is, I think, Tuesday. I haven't read the news. I haven't did a thing. I couldn't tell you what's going on in the free world, they call it. Wow, look at me, free world. Talking about prison. I'm thinking about prison. And that's crazy. That's how I think. This is now just sitting back, smoking a cigar, but I would do the same exact thing during a robbery. I would sit back, smoke a cigar. People wouldn't know what I was doing. And I'm even looking around here. Who would know what I'm doing around here? Not a soul. Not one soul would know what I'm doing, period. And I can guarantee you that. None of them would. But like I said, everybody has to do what they have to do. And I always tell you young guys, don't think robbery's the way. I was the last of a dying breed. I had the outs, I had the connections, I had all the things it takes to rob something. And I don't want you to think it's easy to rob. I want you to look through what I'm doing and say, man, Larry was crazy. Larry lived a crazy life, but Larry's got a second leaf on life. Look at me. After doing all those years in prison, I'm sitting here looking at that. Look at that river, guys. Looking at that lake. Is that great? Is that beautiful? And I'm just so happy living life the way I am now compared to what I did when I was younger, you know? And the stress, the who knows what'll kill you. And don't think I didn't have some health issues and everything else that goes along with that. Because you do. Anybody says you don't, you don't. They're lying. Oh, that was great. Oh, yeah, I could do it all the time. Bullshit. That's called the stress factor. And I don't care who you are, you have stress. That's a fact. But I am a camper at heart. You know, here's a city boy from the Bronx in Brooklyn, New York. But I loved to camp when I was a kid. You all know that. I used to go to Lake George. It was in my book. I don't know what chapter it was. When I lost my boat and I lost had my boat hit my van. I mean, I think about those times and I laugh. Because, one, I had some great times. But I also think, how much stress did I have? I tried to do everything I can to get away from the stress. And you can't. There's no way you can. It's just, that's not the way life goes. You will have some issues. I had back issues and what other issues? I have stress issues, depression issues. Listen, I don't know what's going on in your life, but if you're having them, don't be ashamed to ask for help. Whatever issues you have, whatever they are. I don't care how old you are. You could have stress at 15 years old. You could have stress at 17 years old or 13 years old, or something's going on in your life. Don't think for a second you can't ask for help. Please don't, because I want you to ask for help. Because if you don't, you're going to end up a fucked up man for the rest of your life, or girl. So don't think it can't happen. Now I look at my life in a whole different way. But don't think everything doesn't trigger my memories. Again, being in a campground triggered my memories of Myakka State Park. And that triggered really yesterday and the day before I was here, when I was in Ginny Springs, Florida. It's really rural camping. Because that's what Myakka State Park was, rural. It was so rural with the gators and the fucking crazy shit I did there. And, you know, I had to fucking kill a raccoon because I think the fucker was rabid and he stole my fucking hamburger off a grill. I got him with a 9-iron, that fucker. I think he was rabid. So, I mean, that happens in life. But now look at me. I'm a whole different animal. But looking back, I think about what I'm doing today. I often think about how easy it is now to be talking to you people. The more I'm out here, the more I'm looking at life in a different light. I look back at the people I hurt and the people I've caused their pain, caused their stress. So I don't think that doesn't affect me. You know, yes, I came to grips with it. I tell everybody that all the time. You know, do I regret it? It's not about regret. It's about what would you do it different? Absolutely would I do it different, 100%. But I sure wouldn't, you know, my past is who I am. We all know that. Larry Lawton's past is who Larry Lawton is. Simple as that. I don't want you to think that for one second that Larry says, oh, fuck these people, fuck this. No way. I look at it and say, one, I felt bad for the people I robbed. It is what it is, but I do. I can't change it, so I can't, you know, live in a fucking fucked up way. And if you made mistakes in your life today, don't look at life like that. Come on, don't. Just don't. Think of it differently. Think of life as a whole different animal. And now me, I look at that life in that way of like, hey, listen, we all have a past to deal with. Every one of you out there, everyone has a past. And you got to come to grips with your past, accept it, and be who you're going to be. Because if you're not, you're going to live a miserable fucking life for the rest of your life. And I don't want you to do that. I really don't. I don't want anybody to do that. I don't want me to do it. I don't want my family to do it. I don't want anybody to do it. I don't want you to look at life and say, oh man, I shouldn't have this, and become a fucking depressed person. Listen, I try to do a lot of good today. I try to help people more than most, and I think I do, and I want to keep doing that. I really do. But I'm also not gonna fucking say what I did was right, because it wasn't. But it is who I was. What can I say about that? It was who, you know, it is who I was. I want you to look at Myakka State Park right now, and that's where I was. Myakka State Park is still around. It's still a crazy place. Gators and frickin' raccoons and shit that was rabid, and there were signs, you know, could be rabid raccoons. Well, one fucking ran into me, and I hit it with a 9-iron and killed that fucker because it was rabid, and it was stealing my fucking shit. When they're not scared of humans, you got to be real careful. All animals. But I was the kind of guy you didn't want to fuck with back then anyway. I don't give a shit if you were a raccoon or a person. It was just the way it was, man. You didn't want to fuck with me. And that's the way I look at things now. Anyway, guys, I really want to thank you guys for being part of my whole YouTube family, because everybody is part of my YouTube family, and I believe that. I normally meet people when I'm out, and they say, man, hey, I know your channel. I met you. You're a good guy, Larry. Thanks for, you know, giving us great content. I hope to keep doing that. I got so much shit coming up, and I can't wait. This fucking COVID sucks. We all know that. So that's why I'm here actually doing this right now. So, and enjoying it though. But it is what it is. And I want everybody in this world to think about the choices they make every day. Make good choices, people. Please make good choices. Don't live the life I live, because you'll be starting to think about yourself in a different light, and before you know it, you're fucking double what do you call it? Doubting yourself. You're going to be doubting yourself on a lot of things. And don't doubt yourself. Live your life. You made your choices. Obviously, if you made bad choices, you got to reconcile with them. If you hurt people, make sure you don't hurt people again. Make amends. Do what you can. And you're going to understand a lot of things. But I'm thinking about Myakka State Park because that's where I robbed. That was what I did. That was the kind of thing that I did to be something like that. Now my buddy's fucking with me. He's got a fucking drone over my head. See that? See, he's got a drone over my head. I have one of those too. They're a lot of fun. They're fucking crazy. Look, that's it. These are the kinds of friends I have. I love them. They're fucking funny as shit, these guys. But anyway, guys, have a great day. I want to make sure everybody feels blessed. Make good choices, everybody. I mean that. Have a great day and enjoy life, because if you don't enjoy life now, you're going to fucking regret it in the future. Lots of love, lots of respect. Have a great day. Larry out.